Hey everyone, Scott Gumbar, owner of Nwaj Tech, client-focused, security-minded, proactive IT. Here today for our weekly phishing email review. Or not, I shouldn't say email because it's not always email. And even today, it's not just email. But we're doing this weekly, and I was recording a bunch of other videos. But if you can't tell, I'm a little under the weather, so we're just doing this one this week, as far as I know. Maybe that'll change. But for now, this is it. So let's just get into it. A little bit of a mixed bag this week. This one is WhatsApp, pretty similar to last week's. This time I did engage with them a little bit. This conversation actually started with a different phone number. And then as soon as I responded to, I wanted to see where it was going to go, they replied back from another phone number. So this is the continuation of the conversation. The first message was, hello. Hold on, I'll tell you what it was. It was essentially, just an introduction message. I replied saying, pretending like I actually knew the person. Clearly I don't, and they don't know me. But the message was, hi, long time no see, how have you been? And I've responded with, I've been great, how are you? And that came from a different phone number with the same picture. So you can't really make it out, but there's a picture there. And then they switched to this phone number. And then, so then they said, I'm very good. So it tells me somebody starts the conversation and then it's just switched to another device. I'm very good. I'm Anna. And last month we were talking about a house in Los Angeles. What do you think? I've never been to Los Angeles. It is exactly, or not exactly, but it's roughly 3,000 miles away from me. So I'm not interested in moving there for various reasons, including smog and hot weather that I don't want to deal with year round. Anyway, remind me which house, send a picture. I looked at a lot of houses in LA was my response. And I never got a response again. You could clearly see they saw the message, but obviously they were not prepared to respond to that. Again, this is building on what I said last week, where I said, ask questions to confirm they are who they say they are. Now, in this example, you should just ignore it. If you never looked at houses in LA, or not aware of who this is, and or recognize that this phone number is not a phone number you've interacted with in the past, just a bunch of reasons here, just ignore it. Don't even engage. I engaged to show you what the response would be and what to do in these scenarios if you're unsure that it's somebody. So maybe you were looking at houses in LA and you wanted to confirm that this person is legitimate. This is a great way to do it. They never gave me their name, another red flag. They never used my name, another red flag. And when I asked about the house that they're referring to, I never got an answer. So phishing through WhatsApp. Growing, obviously, because it's the second week in a row I've shared something like this, and I barely use WhatsApp. So this is not the photo I wanted. There it is. All right, perfect. This is Facebook Messenger. Again, second week in a row. This time it was Facebook to Facebook. This time, it wasn't a cloned account created on Instagram that messaged me. This time, the person, again, somebody I know, their account was compromised. So somebody got into their account and started messaging a bunch of people, including me, and it said, "Look who died," sad faces, and then there's this link. Just look at the link. It looks suspicious. What is HOEA.me? It doesn't, I wouldn't even bother wasting your time. As a matter of fact, I knew right away that it was phishing, and it didn't reply. I didn't engage. I didn't do anything. I just ignored it. And probably a couple hours later, I saw the person post that their account was compromised, and ignore any messages. Don't click on any links. So real simple, real quick message. Look who died. Kind of elicits some emotion there and says somebody died, somebody died, and they're upset, they're sad. So maybe you want to console them. Don't click on the link. You can just about guarantee it's a phishing site. And, the fact that it takes to a random bunch of letters here, another red flag, bunch of red flags here again, playing on emotion, not somebody not something that would have been messaged to me on Facebook. I would hope, like, you're not telling people, somebody, I'm sure it does happen, but you're not telling somebody on Facebook that somebody you know died. That would just be, I don't know, that seems kind of uh, uncaring. So I would just wouldn't do that. But again, somebody's account was compromised, which happens all the time on Facebook. If you don't have strong passwords and multi-factor authentication set up, or you've given out too much information somewhere, then they can get into your Facebook or any account, Twitter, whatever it is, and then start spamming other people from your account. So here you go. Look who died. Random link. No good. Plus it was sent at almost 1 o'clock in the morning. And then finally, this one is phishing simulation. We do phishing simulation for some of our clients. Actually, all of our proactive IT clients get phishing simulation. And so this one went out this week, and it was supposed to be, to one of our clients, it was supposed to be difficult, fortunately, and I would like to take some credit, but they are well-versed in what phishing looks like, and their Microsoft account is set up to prevent a lot of stuff anyway. But this one came through, and you can see here, DocuSign at secureaccess.biz, and that was the first thing that one of the employees at this business noticed. It's not a DocuSign email. Another one of the employees at that business forwarded the email to me to ask about it, saying it looks suspicious. Actually, their email title was fishy email with a PH, so that was pretty cool. And that's good. They caught it. They, sent it to me to look into it. They've noticed things that don't add up. So all of those things are important to recognize, because other than that email, and I've blanked out, I've covered up the contact information for this person. Other than the email up here looking legitimate, most of this, or not looking legitimate, sorry, most of this looks very legitimate. Like this is exactly what a DocuSign email looks like, except that I'm not sure that it's docx when they sent it to you. That's a Microsoft file format, so I'm not sure that's how they send it to you. I think it's PDF. I'd have to verify, but they caught it. And the links that are here don't actually go anywhere. They go to a page that says, you've been phished, because it is phishing simulation. They were smart enough to recognize that it was phishing simulation. My logo isn't on the email. I put it there so somebody couldn't steal the image. I mean, you could, but anyway. Obvious phishing email because of where it came from. This is not, secureaccess.biz is not a DocuSign email extension or domain. And the other thing that I would sort of question is the .docx. So it had their name, spear phishing. Spear phishing, again, is targeted phishing, meaning the person that is being phished is their name is included and they are the target. Whereas there's the spray and pray method, which is just email sent to, hundreds or thousands of people to try to get them to do something. So that's what, what we're dealing with now. The phishers, the attackers are getting more complex and more sophisticated. So they're smarter now and they're sending stuff that looks legitimate. And if they don't catch this email address not being DocuSign, maybe this .docx, and possibly, I don't remember what the subject, please DocuSign. So that's a little poor. Please DocuSign. I should say please sign or something like that. The grammar is not great either. And I don't remember why the first person sent it to me, but they recognized that it was phishing right away. So education is key. This is what we talk about every week with these emails, right? Education is key. We need to recognize phishing attacks wherever they're coming from. They come from QR codes now. Don't scan QR codes on gas pumps. It's probably going to lead you to bad news. They come from websites, social media, email, obviously, text messages, voice calls, just a bunch of ways to get phished. It's a form of social engineering. And if you fall for it, it's because you're probably not educated. We can mitigate the risks. Mitigation is not 100%. And so therefore, some things will still continue to get through. And our mitigation is through email. So that doesn't prevent texts, messages through WhatsApp and social media, and Twitter messages. I don't even read Twitter messages. So if you're going to message me, don't bother on Twitter. It's not going to work because I don't even read them. Just various ways to be phished, lots of ways to be phished. Stay educated and do your best to mitigate. Hopefully this helps. So until next video, thank you. Stay healthy, stay safe, and stay secure.